All right, so we are on live today, and we were having some technology issues, but we made it through. Havilland, Havilland, Havilland. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
I am okay. You gotta love the technology, but it's not
Sometimes it's
as
not your friend. Sometimes
it,
it's
it,
not your
it
friend.
sometimes it's not. But we did not give up. This was a lesson in perseverance.
It was because we've been persevering for a minute.
We have been persevering. So we thank everybody for being so patient. And we are obviously, we normally host the Truly Living Facebook Live show on Wednesday, but we are doing a special pop up event as we are highlighting one of our guests from a previous show, which Haviland. I mean, the previous show you did was fantastic. We had people write notes on the screen and
They did take
everything, and
notes. That was
we'll
great.
still talk about those nuggets. So we wanted to have her back today because she will be actually having some live events. And Haviland, if you know Haviland personally or if you've seen her, she is very approachable and very humble. But I just want to give you kind of a little bit of Haviland's background. She does voiceover work, she's done acting, she does coaching. Because I was actually, since our last Facebook Live show, I was watching a commercial and I said, that looks like Haviland. And then I said, Haviland, is that a commercial? What commercial was that?
It was for Accucheck for
AccuCheck.
diabetes medication thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. I
Yep.
was like, there's Haviland. So in addition to AccuCheck, she's been on Avon, Roche, IBM, Capital One, Hollywood Casino, the Attorney General's office, Apple, MasterCard, the airport here in Columbus, John Glenn Airport, TD Jakes, Women Thou Art Loose, and then Ortho Neural Healthcare. So you can see you have spoken, and we're talking about confidence, right? And I know
Yeah.
you'll be kind of really talking about confidence and
Mhm.
networking or whatnot. And to be able to have that type of list of companies to work with, you have to definitely have confidence and you definitely have to have, great networking skills. So
Sure.
we here at Truly Living are always focused on how we can turn our passion into action. And one of the key ways that you really, are not just talking about it, but being about it is through networking with other people so that, it's hard to do everything by ourselves. I
That's
don't
true.
know how many successful people are just like, it was me. I can think of one person that would say that. But other than that,
Yeah, me
every
too.
we won't go there. But normally, most people recognize it takes a village,
It
and so
does.
you have to network to be able to do that, and then you have to
Mhm.
have confidence, really, to be able to effectively communicate. And I couldn't think of nobody else other than Haviland to be able to kind of speak to that. So that's really what we're talking about today. So Haviland, please, I kind of teed you up here. Tell us what's on your mind.
Uh, so thank you, first of all, for having me back. So my name is Havilland Maxwell from HavilandMaxwell.com, and I have a company called Haviland Creative Group. And my mission, and Charm talked about this a little bit, my mission is to help freelancers and small business owners gain more clarity, attract more clients, and ultimately live with more confidence. I'm all about that. And I find so many folks who are starting their journeys as business owners who are not ready up here and they've got these wonderful ideas, but then something happens to block them from seeing that success. And so I'm all about pulling that stuff out that's blocking them and say, okay, we're not going to do that. We're not going to talk badly about ourselves. We're not going to do that. And I try to give them a formula to help them on the road to success.
Man, that's awesome. So through the Facebook Live, like I said, people were taking notes because you broke down the points. It was like pearls. I was up there trying to string the pearls so I could make a little necklace, have a little, maybe some earrings to go along with it. But there was such value just in the 30 minutes that we were talking about. So
Mhm.
obviously you talked about businesses and the confidence, but I do want to say that this is information that whether you're starting a business, you have an existing business, or you don't have a business, you're just wanting to, show off your self-esteem and
Sure.
just how you show up in the world when you have confidence. And I guess the best example I can kind of use on that is dating. right? So, we can only do it from a woman's perspective, but the man that has some confidence, you know what I mean, shows up totally different than the individual that you can see are, a little uncertain.
And you notice it. That's the thing. You notice it right away.
It is like a vibe, right? And those like aura just says, okay, like
right.
What is up with that person right there? Is that a good kind of analogy?
I think so. I mean, I think it is. Like, you definitely know when you're walking into a room, whether there's somebody that's standing next to you that's confident or is a wallflower and just not really, sure about their place in life. You feel that off of people. You feel that energy off of folks. So I think that's a really good analogy, because you notice right away when somebody you're like, oh, okay, you can tell. And I think that goes with women as well. And I think men can see confidence in women that same kind of way. I feel like that's a good analogy. Yeah.
I think confidence is very attractive.
It's attractive. It is attractive. It's attractive in your personal life, and it's attractive in your business life. Like, you're not going to walk up to somebody who is not confident in what they're doing. If I walked up to you and I met you for the first time, I don't even remember where we met, first of all, but wherever we met, I feel like you would have been nice to me and kind to me because that's your nature. But I feel like I would have left a different impression with you had I been really like, oh, my name's Havilland. I'm not really sure about my place in the world. You know what I mean? Like, I think that you would have said, oh, she seems very sweet, but it wouldn't have been the situation that it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's really important for people to start to build those steps. And I think you have to really recognize where you are. And if you want to be a successful business owner and in life, you just must, you've got to have that confidence factor. There's no way around it. Yeah.
Well, thank you. So regardless of where your space in life, again, there's definitely nuggets to be shared today. So what do you have for us now? I know you have 2 events that are coming up locally. So we're kind of we want to kind of do this pop-up event, to talk about confidence, talk about networking, but also to really invite you to be able to, if this is really an area that you would like to work on, you're starting a new business, you're starting a new event, adventure in life, and you're looking for a way to really kind of hone in or work in that area. Can you share with us a little bit about what you have coming up?
I do. We talked about networking really briefly, and you definitely, that's an uphill battle for some, and you can start out with no confidence and then work your way up. So I have a class, an in-person class in Columbus, and it's called Network Like a Pro, even if you're shy or introverted, okay? And I put that in there specifically because when I started networking, I hated it with a passion, and I often found myself hanging by the food and hanging by the coffee machine and not really talking to people. And after going to a few of those and realizing that I was missing out, I said, okay, I got to fix this. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. And I've got to, take the proper steps. So in this event, you learn how to, navigate the worlds of small talk. A lot of people hate small talk, but it's necessary, I think. You learn how to answer when someone says, what do you do? And you're not all stressed out and, bewildered, and you just can't get your thoughts together to explain properly what you do in a clear and concise manner. And then the other thing that we really talk about is just that action, that what happens after you leave the event. We talk about maintaining that relationship and how to maintain that relationship and what do you do, and do you go for coffee? Do you hand out business cards? What, all that stuff that comes after, you leave the location. So I think if you're not networking and you're listening right now, you're watching right now, you hate it, I want you to stop that. I want you to stop that, because it's valuable. And you said it takes a village, and it does. And if people don't know who you are, you can't serve the folk you're meant to serve if you don't go out and find your folk. That's the thing that's great about networking.
No, I love that. And again, that is for a business owner, a new business owner, connection is always, there's somebody probably in that room that's looking for that business or service or whatever that, and sometimes it's just about, getting to meet and going openly and just, trying to take an awkward situation where you may be nervous, but finding something in there, to be fun or figure out so you can try to make that connection with hopefully someone that would be of value. Or sometimes it's just they may know somebody that may know somebody, and you just never know how it all works. Would you
Yes.
agree with that?
I 100% agree. And I always tell people that if you don't go to this event and you are trying to grow your business, networking is a great marketing tool. That's what you need to understand. It's a marketing tool. And exactly what you just said, somebody there is waiting for you. You want to write a book, there may be a person that's going to teach you how to do that, or like you said, the host of the event will know someone who knows someone who knows someone who wants to introduce you to someone to help you further along in your mission. Maybe you need a new accountant. There's probably going to be one there, or somebody's going to say, I know mine is good, so I'm going to give you their information. When you don't go, you do two things. You kind of block your blessing in helping someone else, or you block your blessing in not receiving what you need to receive because you didn't go. And then the other thing is you don't get matched up with the person that you're supposed to be helping, because at the end of the day, you're going there to help someone else. And I think when you change your mentality about networking and think that way and say, oh, I'm going to find someone I can help, it takes that pressure off of you going and saying, oh, I have to get 89 business cards and I have to, get somebody on my list and I have to do. It takes the pressure off of you and you feel like, oh, I'm just going to hang out because I know somebody here needs my help. And it's not a cocky thing. It's just there probably is someone in that room that needs your help. And you're doing a disservice if you don't help them. That's the way you have to look at it.
I agree. So when you go in the room and there's nobody that or, and obviously I know you're going to cover this more extensively, so we're not going to, give away the whole, workshop right now. But if there would maybe just be one little thing, that people could do, like when you speak in front of people, a large audience, there's all these things, mind tricks that you can do to kind of overcome some of that anxiety, because I think a lot of it is fear, you know what I mean? And so it's really kind of, you talking to yourself as far as kind of some of that negative noise, but what can you do maybe to overcome that? Just as maybe one pearl you could give us.
To overcome the fear of actually
just to go in, like, is there, like you said, just be yourself. Don't try to be something you're not, and just try to make friends. I think authenticity, is key.
That's the thing. Be yourself, number one. So if you are not a suit wearing, that kind of person, and you walk in and you're uncomfortable, like I had a friend call me, she's panicked outside an event one time, and I was trying to walk her through just to get her to calm down. Like, okay, listen, calm down. And she's like, well, I'm in my workout gear. And I'm like, you should be in your workout gear. You're a personal trainer. And if I'm looking for a personal trainer, I want to see what you look like, so I can see you like that. So, why would you go in with a suit and tie on? And then I'm looking at you and then you feel uncomfortable. That's not who you are. If you walk around in training clothes all day, that's who you are. And I love that about you. And I want to get to know that, because that's what I need in my life. And I want to look like you. So my thing is, definitely be yourself. If you start off on the wrong foot trying to pretend that you're someone else, you're not going to have a good time, and it's just going to go downhill, the moment you walk through the door. The other thing is, if you need to take a friend with you, do that. But be very, very, very cautious about taking the friend, because I went one time and there were two women sitting next to each other. They were like high school friends, and they didn't leave each other's side the whole freaking night. And I'm thinking, you came to meet other folks. Like, you need to separate. Now you can come back and kind of have that game plan where you're like, I'm gonna meet you back here at this coffee machine in 20 minutes if you're feeling anxious or you just need your friend again, okay?
Yes.
But go out. You can definitely take a friend. Just don't stay hooked on them like glue, because it doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve them. And then one of the other things you can do is just, if you know the host or know someone who knows the host, ask to be introduced to them. Because people love to help. Like, think about this. People love, I know them. I'll take you out there. They love that, because there are people who are just connectors there, who just know everyone. You know how people just know everyone? Find one of those people, and they'll be more than happy to push you in the right direction or assist you in that way.
No, I love that. That was great. And it seems so simple, right?
It does.
You feel like I gotta, what I mean? But
we just overthink stuff, because you're already, if you're already anxious, you're overthinking everything, and then you're concerned about everything, and then it just blocks you from, you just stay in one spot. You don't venture out because you're already nervous, and then your anxiety takes hold. But if you start out with simple stuff, then you're good.
So we're using the KISS principle. Keep it simple, sweetie.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
I love it. Yes.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. So when is the event?
So the event is on this Saturday. That's the 30th of March at 11 o'clock from 11 to 1. It's at Haven Collective in Columbus, Ohio. So I would love to have you. If you're watching and you're just on the fence, I'm going to help bring you over to the other side of the fence in a good way. Okay.
Yes.
So I
And I
want
love
you
Haven
to come.
Collective too. That's such a
Yeah, they're
that
such a
is such
wonderful,
yeah,
yes. Shout out to Melissa and Danielle. Yeah,
Melissa
they're
and
wonderful.
crew. Yes.
Yes, and crew. Yeah, so no, it's just, I want you to be encouraged. It's not long. We don't stay around for a long time, but I give you the information that you need so you'll be able to go to your next event with a little more ease than you were before. And then also, I'm going to help you, learn where to go and what to say and all that good stuff. So you're not stressed out about that.
So I will tell you, and I mean, we, talk to a lot of, especially women, right? And
Mhm.
sometimes I think, you know, it may be new. We may, there's so many people that I talk to work a day job, but we talk about a lot in our community about what is your passion and how can you
Mhm.
turn that into action. So it may be a
Yes.
side, you know what I mean? So this may be something new for you, or you may feel just leave all of that at the door, right? And so I
Mhm.
think that like is the perfect transition. I know you have another workshop that'll be coming up here after that, is really kind of talking about your confidence and some other things as it relates to that. Can you kind of also speak, because I think they're related, but it's important to kind of maybe work on strategies for each of those.
Absolutely. So I have a coaching program that's called Confidence and Clients. And
Oh,
in
I
that
love it.
program, yeah, so I put confidence as a forefront because I want you to understand you've got to have it and I'm going to help you get it. That's the bottom line. And in that program, we talk about money mindset training, success mindset training off the rip. That's the first thing we do because you've got to get to that place where you can start seeing yourself being successful and believing that you can have money. A lot of people don't understand that they don't believe that they don't deserve. They think they don't deserve to have success, and we got to unblock that. I talk about clear and specific goal setting. I talk about identifying who you're meant to serve, because a lot of times people are thinking they're jack of all trades and they're not, and it doesn't serve them, and it confuses them and confuses their buyers.
Mhm.
I talk about sharing your story authentically with people. I had a woman in my workshop that talked about how she was a crier and she used to really beat up on herself about that. And I'm like, no, that's who you are. And
Mhm.
I guarantee you there's 5 other criers in the audience right now who resonate with you. So stop
Right.
acting like you're not good enough. It's fine
Yeah.
that you cry. That's wonderful because that's who you are. We talk about setting your rates and creating your packages, because if you're not clear and confident on what you're charging folk, you'll undercut yourself every time, and then you'll start to be resentful in your business because you're not making enough money. And then we talk about creating a clear 30-day marketing plan. So when you leave, you know exactly where you're supposed to be putting your marketing efforts. So I named it that way because when you put all those things together, you will be confident, because then you can go and say, this is who I am, this is who I serve, this is how much I charge, and I know what I'm doing now. From the next at least 30 days forward, you know exactly what you're doing. And one of the things I feel like people were missing from that program is confidence on camera. So you and we're on camera like a lot, and I'm on camera all the time. And I still find so many people who are very shy, don't want to go live, don't want to be seen, but yet you want your product to be sold and you want people to come to your workshop, but nobody knows who you are and they can't see your face. So I added a confidence on camera as well to that. And I'll
I
have a
love it.
workshop in that in April. And then I'm thinking about doing a public speaking one in May. So I'm toying around with some stuff like that too, because it all goes together. All of those things combined. When you're a business owner, you're going to have to speak in front of folk if you want to, have an audience. You're going to have to speak on camera, and you're going to be feeling good about yourself in order to do that. So I really am a big cheerleader. I am at the end of the day, but I push people outside their comfort zones. My job is to help you, but you have to be you have to want the encouragement based teaching and action based teaching that I provide. And you have to understand that I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be an
Keep it
encouragement.
real. Keep it real.
I'm gonna love on you, but I'm also
Yeah.
gonna give you the real deal because I want you to succeed. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No, no. We actually talk about how feedback is a gift, right? And
It is a
so,
gift. And you have to view it as such. You have to
it
view it.
really
Yeah,
is a gift,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
it
for
is.
you to grow or for you to get different results, then, obviously if you go to a workshop or you're going to get some nuggets to change your, like
Yes.
you're trying to grow in some way,
Yeah.
right? And so that's where you need that feedback to either not, you don't always have to like start over and start anew, but sometimes it's those fine little refinements, and that's where this confidence to me, I think is key. And especially specifically also for new business owners, sometimes the pricing conversation. And I love that you are talking about that because I think, you have to there's a time when you need to have confidence. And when you name a price for what it is that you are offering your service, that is the time you should be the most confident. Because if you're providing a great service and you are targeted to the right target market, you should feel, and you've done your research to know that what you're offering, the value is there. You should not have a waver or quiver when you roll it out. And, I love that you're really talking about that.
I have to, because I just had someone say to me, well, somebody didn't want to pay my price. And I said, well, that's not your client. And she just was flabbergasted, like, no. And I said, what's going to happen? It's a slippery slope when you say, I'll only take $10 for this, thing that is worth 10 times that, because then you resent the client. You start to resent yourself and you're angry at yourself because you've done all this work and you attached it to $10, only $10. And then you're feeling like this isn't really where I want to be. Well, no, it's where you should be. You just didn't charge enough because you didn't respect yourself and you didn't explain the value to the client. And the great thing about business owners is that there are a lot of choices. There's so many choices for people to go to. If a person doesn't resonate with me, that's fine. I will probably recommend you to someone I think will be able to help you. But you've got to be clear about that, because that's a big downfall in the very beginning. If you don't set that price rate where it needs to be, you're not going to feel great about it, because you're not going to be getting paid. And who wants to be in business and not get paid?
Well, and yes. And I think there's so many times I've heard people that they get into a scenario, and sometimes this is really apparent with family and friends. Sometimes you so discount something and then you're kind of mad at them because they're like, normally I charge X, Y, or Z, but then when they said, well, how much are you charging me? Then you said A, B, C.
That's
right?
dangerous. It's so dangerous.
It's like a disconnect from the beginning. And so, that's where I think having that conversation, establishing those rules and keeping it especially when it comes time to business, especially with friends and family, I think it really needs to be, you still can love and you can still, and if it's not a right fit, or if like, this is what I can do, or I have a friend that will be able to, that's great, that will be able to, you know what I mean? But I think it's important to have those, conversations up front. Would you agree with that?
I absolutely agree with that. And a lot of times I tell people, don't do business with your family and friends until you are confident enough in where you are. Because here's the thing, if your family and friends really respect you and honor you in your place, they'll pay full price.
And they'll give you some referrals and help to spread the word.
Absolutely, they will. Absolutely, they will. And so you have to be very careful about that, because they'll respect you and love on you enough and say, I'm going to buy this book of yours and I'm not going to ask for a discount because you're worth it. And here's the thing, if you would go down to the bookstore and buy somebody you don't know, and you hear that all the time in our community, like, hey, you want to support, so-and-so celebrity, but you don't want to support me? Think about that. That's the truth. Pay full price for your friend's stuff. Like, it's the truth, because it helps them feel good about themselves. And now that's the difference, though. You got to be good at what you're doing. Like, bring the value and be good. Like, don't be raggedy and then expect, full price. Don't be unprofessional, expect full price. But if you're doing the deal, you deserve to have that rate.
No,
sure.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for covering that, because I know that can, what I mean? We like to have real talk here.
No,
right?
it's real.
Girlfriends.
That is the truth.
This is the year of you, right? So we are talking about how you trying to take whatever you are working on, whatever that is in your life, and taking it to the next level. So these are definitely all pearls that's related to it.
It's the truth.
So can you give us the specifics? And what I'll ask you to do is, after we post this Facebook Live on the page, we'll definitely share that near and far, but would you mind leaving the links so that if people would like to reach out or get more information, that it will be attached to our Facebook Live segment?
Absolutely. I absolutely will do that. The links will for the event, for the networking event will be there, and the links for the coaching or the confidence and clients program, which begins on April 4th, and you can apply. I'll leave the link for you to apply into the program. I'm only allowing 7 business owners, and some spots have already been filled. So if you're interested, make sure you jump on it because we're starting soon.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it. So
yeah.
I will be there on Saturday. So
I'm excited.
I'm
Yay.
excited. I'm about to get my networking on. And we're about to have a good time because that's the way I network, right?
Yes.
I have,
yes.
a lot of times the day's been stressful and you go and you get to meet new friends. And for me, that's where I always look at this as an opportunity to meet new friends.
Opportunity to hang out and meet new people. Yes.
Yes. And I just love to hear people's stories and what they're up to. And, and I like to say, what's your passion or what's up with you? And that's like, and then, I'm like,
well,
okay.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Yes. Yes.
We're going to talk about it.
I love it.
Good. Well, if you are joining us this Saturday, I look forward to seeing you. And again, Havilland, thank you. I know we had a little pop-up event today. We're going to rerun this at our normal time on Wednesday. So if you're seeing the replay of it, please do check out the links below. Again, Havilland, I'm getting another pearl necklace to go with my other one from my last show. So got the knee rings, got a bracelet this time. So
shoot.
maybe I'll get that at the workshop on Saturday.
All right. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again. And was there anything else you wanted to say before we close tonight?
Nope. I thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
All right. Well, look out for Havilland. You never know. She might be on a commercial or she'll pop up anywhere. So thank you again.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Have a great night. Take care. Bye-bye.